What's going on, guys? Coach Joe. I'm actually currently sick. You know, if you own a gym, you're around germs all the time. We try to keep this place as clean as possible. But it may explain why I had a crappy week. You know, we really try to always go in doing the best we can, but as you guys know, that doesn't always happen. So you're gonna see a training week where things just weren't going that great for me. You know, weights felt super heavy, I wasn't making lifts. But anyways, instead of just bailing on sessions, we work around it. We find ways to still get it done or hit the main focus of that workout. But we're gonna cut to the commentary. I'm gonna just show you guys some training footage, nothing too crazy or exciting, but hopefully you enjoy this. I'll catch up with you at the end. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the commentary, and you will now see me benching 275. This was one of my last sets where I'm just going for max reps with light band tension. However, I was an idiot and didn't have spotting arms, and ended up dropping this on my chest and having to roll it down my entire body, which bruised my stomach. It's pretty painful. It's the first time it's ever happened, and I will never do this without spotting arms ever again. Had to learn the hard way. Now we move on to the worst deadlift session known to man. And right here, this is 415, which I'm cranking out, and this actually didn't feel too bad. But I ended up having to coach a workout, so I had to get it done as fast as possible. And then I bump up to around 480. I think this is 480. So less reps, but that felt decent. But I remember when I was lifting this, I was like, man, that definitely is feeling heavier than usual. And then from there, I had to bump up to 545. And here's what happens at 545. Big Joe goes for the pull, and that's not happening. That felt heavier than the hand of God pushing me back down. So I'm trying again, make it a little bit up my shin, and here's when I go to the other side, end up taking my belt and smashing it against the ground as hard as I can. Fits of rage, don't be like me. And I ended up just pulling a 500 single because I wanted to actually just pull something, and that felt very heavy. Now here's a 500 for 4, literally the previous week. So I was just feeling off, completely off. You know, my central nervous system, which I think people use definitely as an excuse, but I was really feeling like my CNS was down, and it'll make sense now because I'm actually sick. So I think from all the training, you know, the stress of work, my body was just really worn out, and I haven't really taken many off days. So I've just been training very hard. In between all the sets, I was doing these banded good mornings, and then I was doing V-ups, so going up and touching my toes. But I was doing that between every single set, not just for the sets you're seeing here. If you guys didn't know, I don't think I've mentioned this, but Brian Alzer has been coaching me as I prepare for nationals. This will be on a 12-week program that he has written for me, and it's been really good. I will say, however, what I'm learning about myself is I come out really hard when it comes to programming, and once I get to around week 4 or 5, I absolutely need to take a deload week. And I've done this with every single program I've been on, and that's why I may switch more to an RPE style, but that'll be in the future. I'm just trying to finish this program up. And then what you guys see here is doing some yoke walks. I had actually, in that deadlift, now that I remember, had pulled my trap, and my lower back started killing me from the other weekend at the Beast of Bloomsburg with the snatch grip deadlifts. So on these yokes, I was trying to work more speed. I think I had 450 on there, and I did about 10 rounds. I didn't put all 10 on the video footage, but I did on the minute for 10 minutes of a 450 yoke, just working on speed. I didn't want to keep aggravating my lower back, and my trap hurt too. I was supposed to do some heavier stiff legs, but instead I just went to 135. And I think the biggest problem people make when they get injured is they stop. So I just figure out what movements can I do that I don't feel pain, and I can still hit that similar range of motion to whatever I'm supposed to be doing. And that is stiff leg deadlifts, 135. Normally I would do above 225. And then I forget what was next, but I knew I couldn't do that because it was causing me too much pain. So I just decided to do some sled pulls. You know, this is a medium-ish weight, and every round I would just go back and forth for 100 feet. You know, it fires up the posterior chain as well as your legs, gets the sweat going. And like I said, guys, it's better than nothing. So that is what you want to focus on when you're injured, is getting something in and working around the injury, getting blood flow for recovery. I also had some kettlebell swings here. Kept this light. Normally 70 pounds is really light for me on kettlebell swings. So this is like a 44, okay? Nothing crazy at all, but like I said, I'm just moving and getting it done. But these weeks are tough, you know? It's always tough when you have a bad training week mentally and physically. And now we're moving on to the weekend where I actually did some muscle snatches. And these were okay. I haven't really done Olympic lifting that much, just because as nationals approaches, that's a really big competition for me in strongman, and I kind of really want to focus on that. However, a lot of people know me as the Olympic lifting guy, so I have to make sure that I still don't suck at Olympic lifts. I know I'm probably heading down to strength camp in Florida to hang out with Chris Bernard, and he wants to do some ollie stuff. You know, am I gonna snatch 345? Probably not, but you know, as long as my technique's okay and my strength isn't too bad, it's gonna be a good time. But right now this is 115. So the whole point of the muscle snatch is to do everything the same except you're not jumping and being explosive. You're just gonna get the same to the hips, and then you're gonna muscle it the rest of the way up. So you really feel that in your upper back, your traps, and your shoulders. Here's 135. So as you can see, it's all the same until there. So I'm pulling the same as I would to snatch, but then once it gets to the hips, my feet don't move out, I don't catch it into a low squat or anything like that. I'm just muscling it up through the rest of the way. So if you guys are doing snatches, I would highly recommend either warming up with muscle snatches or just including them into your strength programming to build your shoulder strength. Here's 175, which they felt pretty good. Definitely have to get back into it a little bit more. Felt pretty slow, but I did a couple more sets here at 175. As you can see, I'm starting to get a little fatigued there. And then I moved on to regular snatches. I think I did 5 sets at 2. So I was just working on my doubles. I like working doubles because you can ramp up weight faster, and you can also maintain your technique pretty much. Wasn't planning on going crazy heavy. I knew I was probably gonna end around 225 today, because I'm actually doing a snatch and a bench session, which most people say can't be done, but I'm gonna show you guys that I'm doing it. And I'm benching 325 by the end of this session, so I would say, you know, if I'm doing it and it's working, I'm just gonna keep doing it. I know people will disagree with me, but I don't see there's anything wrong with it. I think if you're in an elite level, doing benching, you know, may not be the best thing to do all the time, but for the average person, you just want to be training. And I highly agree that you should be benching while doing Olympic lifts. Maybe close to a comp, taper down a little bit, but like I said, for the average person, totally fine. So here are just my doubles at 225. Felt very slow, but really honestly what I think, guys, is happening, CNS is run down, and then obviously I'm sick now, so I think this was kind of just why my training wasn't doing too well. So I think I'm gonna have to listen to my body on this one. So right now, I believe this is 275 on the bar. I'm trying to work on my setup more, work on my positioning. I was going a little bit wider. Some people recommended that to me, but honestly, I do think that my triceps are strong. So when I go a little bit closer, it actually is a better bench, but I haven't practiced wider enough to actually get the gist of it. And in between, I was doing dumbbell rows. So now we are at 295. Getting better with using my legs and my hip drive. Hip drive. There's my Mark Ripito impersonation. And then this is 315. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty weak on these. As you can see, there are spotting arms there, guys. So I've learned. I'm a big practice what you preach kind of guy. So if I know I need to do something, I will do it. And that was 325. Now here's 330, but what happens is I nailed the arm on the way down and it totally just messed up my vibes on that bench. But here's the best part, it didn't crush my stomach, I didn't bruise. I had those awesome spotting arms there, and all I gotta do is make that awkward get up and over the bar. So that's pretty much it, guys. The last thing will be probably the only highlight of my week, which is a 425 squat for 9. I really wanted 10. I think going back, I could have 10. I just didn't push hard enough, and I felt like my form was starting to go. So if my form's starting to go, I really don't like posting videos on social media because it's a huge pet peeve that I have of other people. But as you can see, I have a bail level of 10 where I drop it over my head. So if you're new to bailing, do not do this technique. You can scalp yourself, and that's never good. And I don't want to get any emails of you saying that you watched that video and that's what happened. But anyway, guys, back to the closing comments. Okay guys, so there you have it. I wish it was more exciting with my training, but like I said, I'm just trying to get through this hump, get better, feel better, be able to train hard. In the future, like I said, I have a strongman competition with Brian Alzer. I'm just waiting for the USS to post the entry form on the main website for that, and then you guys can start signing up and getting after it. It's gonna be a really cool time. And yeah, I'll just catch up with you guys then. Tons of collaborations, hopefully in the works in the new year. It's gonna be awesome. I can't thank you guys enough for all that you guys do. It means so much to me. Please just keep sending positive feedback. I love the comments and you guys interacting with me. Thank you, and I'll catch up then. All right, later.